What is up, you guys? My name is Aubrey and this is my channel, and today I thought it would be a good idea to go through the process of what damage claims look like on Turo. Because as you guys know, I am a Turo host, I have a successful Turo side business, and I have over a dozen cars on the Turo platform. And this is my 2011 Jeep Wrangler Sahara that I rent out on Turo, and over the weekend it was damaged by having a tire blowout. The guest texted me a picture over the weekend showing that the tire was absolutely destroyed, and so I thought it would be interesting showing you guys the damage and talking you guys through the process of what getting a damage claim resolved on Turo looks like. So let's get started. So here we have my Jeep Wrangler, and the tire that had the blowout was this passenger side tire right here. Now we ended up actually just putting on the back tire onto this tire, so she was able to finish her trip as she would if she would have never had a blowout to begin with. But now let's go to the back of the vehicle and take a look at what the tire looks like. So here you can see the back of the Jeep Wrangler. You can see that the tire is just a tad bit damaged. So she had a full-on blowout. It is successfully mounted to the back of the car, and the tire was relatively new. Like, I had replaced it within the last maybe year to 18 months, and you can see here that she did have a nail in the tire, and so that looks to be what caused this pretty severe blowout that will absolutely need to be replaced. Alright, so now we are in the Jeep Wrangler and I'm about to go run over to Discount Tire to get the tire replaced. So the process of damage claims with Turo are they're multi-tiered and they depend on a lot of different things. First and foremost, if you are a Turo host and you're wanting to turn Turo into a legitimate business, even if you're just wanting to turn it into something that you do on the side, something that is so incredibly important is taking your before photos. Your before photos are your evidence to how your car's condition was before it was taken out on a rental. For me, for every single trip on Turo, I take anywhere between 60 and 80 photos before a trip is taken in any of my cars. It doesn't matter if a car is like the Jeep and it's worth 15 to 20,000, or if it's my Toyota Yaris and it's worth about 4,500. Regardless of what car is being taken out and regardless of the length of the trip, I take anywhere from 60 to 80 photos for every single rental. This ensures that no matter what happens on the trip, I am protected, because in the case of the tire blowing out with the Jeep, if I didn't have those photos, then the renter could have said, well, there was a nail in it before I took the car, and I would have had no evidence against that. But because of the fact that I had the photos, I showed that there was no nail in the tires, that all the tires had the correct PSI. There's no evidence to be made about whether or not I was following the rules as a host. The other thing that's so important with Turo claims and filing a damage claim with Turo and getting it successfully paid out is keeping the maintenance of your vehicles on top of it at all times. For example, if I had the tire indicator light on this car before the car had a blowout, even if the car had fine PSI and maybe there was a faulty TPMS sensor, if the tire indicator light was on this car for any reason, if this car was in an accident, if it had a blowout, if it had a fender bender, whatever the case is, I would not be covered because I am not following my guidelines as a Turo host and keeping this car up to Turo standards. So it's so incredibly important to stay on top of maintenance, to stay on top of recalls, to stay on top of repairs on all of your vehicles, because if you don't do that and you get a damage claim, even if it's something as simple and as obvious as a nail in your tire causing a blowout, you will not be covered when it comes to insurance. The next thing that's super important to keep in mind if you have a damage claim on Turo is to check in your cars always within 24 hours of a trip ending. All damage to a vehicle has to be reported within 24 hours. So if you have an accident on your car and your guest doesn't tell you about it, and I've had that happen to me where a guest returns a vehicle, I have no idea that there's anything wrong with the car. I go to pick up the car and to go check it in, and then I see that the car is absolutely destroyed. That has happened on multiple occasions, and if I would have waited, let's say 26 hours to go check in that car, I wouldn't have been able to get that covered, and I would have been denied the claim as a whole. So it's so important to comply with those Turo rules, to check in your car no more than 24 hours before a rental, to check out a car no more than 24 hours after a rental, and to take those before and after photos, because that's how you ensure that you get approved for any damage claims that happen to your vehicles. So in the case of this Jeep Wrangler, what is going to happen is I'm going to go head over to Discount Tire. They're going to go change it for me. I will simply take a photo of the invoice of how much the tire cost to repair, and then I will send that over to Turo, and then they will request reimbursement from the guest. So I will head to Discount, I will go get the tire replaced, and then this car will be back on Turo and available to rent within the next few hours. Whenever you're dealing with Turo, whether it be maintenance, damage claims, repairs, whatever the case is, it's so important for you to have some sort of process in place so that you can get these vehicles maintained, repaired, fixed in a quick amount of time. That way they can be out on the road getting rented again. Before COVID, and while we were at like our peak business, we would have tires be fixed and cars be going out within hours of being damaged. But with COVID, the sense of urgency isn't quite as high, and because of that, I waited a little bit longer to get this tire fixed because I didn't have a chance to go to Discount at the time that it was damaged. But now that the tire has been ordered, Discount has called me and told me that it is at their shop and it's ready to be installed. I will head over there, I'll get it installed, and then the car will be good to go. All in all, in my opinion, I think that getting approved for damage claims and working damage claims out on Turo really depend on your due diligence when it comes to checking in cars correctly and checking out cars correctly. Read the terms of service for Turo, check in cars within 24 hours, check them out within 24 hours, and take a crap ton of photos. If you do all of those things, I am sure that you will never have a damage claim denied, you will always be reimbursed for damage claims, and you will have a much more profitable and much more successful Turo business in the process. So with that being said, you guys, I thought that this would be an interesting video because I get a lot of questions regarding the damage claim process with Turo, but I would be interested in hearing what you guys think of this. What are your thoughts on Turo? What are your thoughts on this insurance process? I get a lot of questions on this topic, so I thought it would be a great video given that I just recently had a blowout now and I'm going through the process of fixing it as we speak. But you guys, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.